Hidden City Discovery, the Lost City of Shadows. Intro. Imagine a dense jungle untouched by human civilization for centuries. A place so mysterious that even maps refuse to acknowledge its existence. A city hidden beneath nature's grip. A city that vanished without a trace. And today, we are about to uncover its secrets. This is the story of the Lost City of Shadows. Chapter 1. The Ancient Map. It all started when renowned explorer Ethan Carter received a mysterious package. Inside was a weathered leather journal. The pages were torn. The ink had faded. But one thing stood out. A map. An ancient map leading to a location deep within the Amazon rainforest. Attached to it was a handwritten note. Those who seek the city must be prepared to lose everything. Most people would ignore such a warning. But Ethan wasn't most people. For years he had searched for evidence of a forgotten civilization hidden somewhere beyond the reach of modern society. This map could finally be the answer. Within days, Ethan assembled a team. Sarah, an archaeologist. Mike, a survival expert. And Alex, a drone operator and filmmaker. Together, they prepared for the expedition of a lifetime. None of them knew. Their lives were about to change forever. Chapter 2. Into the Jungle. The helicopter dropped them at the edge of the rainforest. Ahead stretched endless green wilderness. No roads, no villages, no signs of civilization, only jungle. As they ventured deeper, strange things began to happen. Their GPS malfunctioned, compasses spun in circles, even the drones lost signal. It was as if something wanted to keep the city hidden. 3 days passed. The team battled storms, insects, and dangerous terrain. But then, Sarah noticed unusual markings carved into a massive stone. The symbols were unlike anything she had ever seen. Nearby, they discovered a staircase, ancient, covered in vines, leading deep into the earth. The map had been right. They were close, very close. Chapter 3. The Gateway. As the explorers descended the staircase, darkness swallowed them whole. Their flashlights illuminated walls covered in mysterious carvings. The artwork depicted a powerful civilization, towering temples, golden statues, and a glowing crystal at the center of the city. According to the carvings, this crystal was known as the Heart of Shadows, a source of unimaginable power. Suddenly, a loud rumble echoed through the tunnel. Dust fell from the ceiling. The team froze. Something was moving. But what? Moments later, the sound disappeared. The tunnel fell silent again, yet none of them felt alone anymore. Chapter 4. The Hidden City. Hours later, they emerged from the tunnel, and what they saw left them speechless. Before them stood an enormous city, hidden beneath the jungle for centuries. Massive stone pyramids rose above the trees. Ancient roads stretched in every direction. Waterfalls flowed through forgotten temples. Chapter 7. The Awakening. Ignoring the warnings, one member of the team touched the crystal. Instantly, the chamber shook. The ground trembled. Ancient machinery roared to life. Hidden doors opened throughout the city. A blinding blue light erupted from the crystal. Then came the sound. a deep roar, echoing from beneath the earth. Something had awakened. The city was never hiding treasure. It was hiding a prison. And they had just opened it. Chapter 8. Escape. The explorers ran through collapsing tunnels. Massive stone blocks crashed around them. Entire sections of the city crumbled. The jungle itself seemed alive. Roots burst through walls. Temples collapsed into the earth. As they reached the tunnel entrance, Ethan looked back one final time. The hidden city was disappearing, slowly being swallowed once again by nature. Within minutes, it was gone, as if it had never existed. Chapter 9. The Shadow Follower. The team finally escaped the collapsing city. Exhausted and covered in dust, they pushed through the jungle toward their extraction point. Everyone believed the nightmare was over. But Ethan couldn't shake a strange feeling, the feeling that something was following them. That night, they camped near a river. A fire burned softly in the darkness. The jungle sounds had returned, yet something still felt wrong. Around midnight, Alex woke suddenly. He heard footsteps, slow, heavy, moving through the trees. He grabbed his flashlight and pointed it toward the darkness. Nothing, only endless jungle. Then, two glowing eyes appeared between the trees, watching, motionless. Alex froze. The eyes disappeared a second later. When he woke the others, nobody believed him. Until morning. Large footprints surrounded the camp, footprints unlike anything they had ever seen. Whatever had been imprisoned beneath the city might have escaped with them. Chapter 10. The Forgotten Temple. On their journey back, Sarah discovered another symbol carved into a cliffside. It was identical to the symbols found inside the hidden city, but this symbol pointed in a different direction, toward a mountain hidden behind thick jungle. The team debated whether they should continue. Every instinct told them to leave, but curiosity won. Hours later, they reached an ancient temple. Smaller than the city, yet far older. The walls were covered in carvings telling the complete story of the civilization. Thousands of years ago, the people discovered a strange crystal that fell from the sky. The crystal gave them knowledge, power, technology far beyond their time. But the crystal was not a gift. It was a prison. Inside lived a dark entity known as the Shadow King, a being capable of manipulating fear itself. When the civilization realized the danger, they sealed the creature beneath the city forever. Or so they thought. Chapter 11. The Shadow King. Deep inside the temple, Ethan found a hidden chamber. In its center stood a massive stone throne. Behind it was a warning written in an ancient language. Sarah translated it slowly. Her voice trembled. When the heart awakens, the king shall rise. Suddenly the room began to shake. A cold wind swept through the chamber. The torches extinguished themselves. Darkness filled the room. Then a figure emerged. Not fully visible, not fully real. A towering shadow with glowing blue eyes. The same eyes Alex had seen in the jungle. The Shadow King. For centuries it had been trapped. Now it was free. The creature spoke in a voice that echoed through the temple. You have broken the seal. You have awakened what should have remained forgotten. The walls cracked. Ancient stones collapsed. The team ran for their lives as the temple began to fall apart around them. Chapter 12. The Final Secret. After escaping the temple, the team reached the helicopter landing zone. The pilot was already waiting. As the helicopter lifted into the sky, everyone looked down at the jungle below. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then the clouds parted. Far beneath them, deep within the forest, they saw something impossible. Another city, even larger than the first, stretching across the horizon, hidden beneath the jungle canopy. The lost city of shadows had not been the only city. It had merely been an outer fortress, a warning, a barrier. The true kingdom still remained hidden, and somewhere within that forgotten kingdom, the Shadow King was heading home. As the helicopter disappeared into the distance, Ethan realized something terrifying. Their journey had never been about discovering a lost city. It had been about opening a door that should have remained closed forever. Extended ending. Months passed. The team's discovery became world news. Scientists debated. Historians argued. Governments requested access to the evidence. Yet nobody could locate the city again. Every expedition failed. Every map led nowhere. It was as if the jungle itself was protecting the secret. Then, one evening, Ethan received another package. No return address. No name.
Inside was an old photograph. The photograph showed a group of explorers standing in front of the hidden city. The date written on the back was over 100 years old. At first, Ethan thought it was some kind of joke. The image was faded, the corners were torn, and time had nearly erased every detail. But as he looked closer, something caught his attention. One of the explorers standing in the front row looked familiar, very familiar. Ethan slowly brought the photograph closer to his face. His heartbeat began to accelerate. The man in the picture looked exactly like him. The same eyes, the same facial structure. Even the small scar above his left eyebrow was identical. It was impossible. The photograph was over a century old, yet the man looked as if he had been photographed yesterday. Ethan immediately called Sarah. Within an hour, she arrived at his apartment. The two spent the entire night examining the image. Sarah used advanced software to restore the damaged sections. The clearer the image became, the more disturbing it looked. Not only did the mysterious explorer resemble Ethan, but several other people in the photograph looked identical to members of their team. A woman who looked exactly like Sarah, a man resembling Mike, and another explorer who looked almost identical to Alex. No one could explain it. The odds were beyond impossible. The next morning, Ethan decided to investigate further. On the back of the photograph, hidden beneath layers of dust and faded ink, they discovered a name, Expedition 17.
Below it was a date, and underneath that, a single sentence. They entered the city. None returned. 3 slow knocks from outside the cabin door. Knock, knock, knock. The sound echoed through the small wooden cabin. For a moment, nobody spoke. Nobody moved. The old historian's face turned completely pale. His eyes remained fixed on the door, as if he already knew what was standing on the other side. Ethan slowly stood up from his chair. His heart was pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. Another knock came, this time louder, more deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. The cabin walls seemed to vibrate with every impact. Outside, the mountain forest had become unnaturally silent. No wind, no insects, no birds, nothing. Only the sound of those knocks. Ethan, the historian whispered, "Do not open that door." "Why?" Ethan asked. The old man swallowed nervously. "Because 20 years ago, I opened it." A chill ran through Ethan's body. The old man slowly sat down and stared into the darkness. His hands were shaking, his voice barely audible. I wasn't always a historian. I was an explorer. Ethan froze. The old man pointed toward a faded photograph hanging on the wall. Ethan grabbed a flashlight and examined it. The picture showed a younger version of the historian standing beside several explorers. Behind them stood a massive stone structure. A structure Ethan recognized instantly. The hidden city. "You've been there?" Ethan asked. The old man nodded. "In 1978, we found a city, just like you, and we made the same mistake." Outside the cabin, the knocking stopped. The sudden silence felt even more terrifying. The historian continued. "There were 6 of us. We entered the city searching for answers. But the city was never the treasure. It was the lock." The old man's words echoed through the cabin. For several moments, Ethan said nothing. Everything finally made sense. The hidden city wasn't built to protect a secret. It was built to keep something trapped, something ancient, something dangerous. As Ethan looked toward the dark forest outside, the glowing blue eyes slowly disappeared into the shadows. The knocking stopped. The silence returned. But deep inside, Ethan knew one thing for certain. The lost city of shadows had not revealed all of its secrets. And somewhere beyond the jungle, something was still waiting. The end.